So it is like 3:15 in the morning. Yep, it's 3:15 a.m. and I am in triage. It is Sunday morning, so it's December 19th, and I started having contractions yesterday, but they were like 15-20 minutes apart, but it had been happening like all day. They kind of picked up. No, this is Sunday. I get confused, y'all, because it's so early in the morning. It was Sunday, okay, so Saturday, so Friday, I went to the church Christmas party. So, okay, my contractions were started picking up midday, Friday. Saturday, I was still having them, but they were very far apart. So around 4:40, I did castor oil to kind of see if I can get them to be closer together and consistent. And it worked. I didn't go poop or diarrhea or anything, but they did start coming closer together. So from around probably 5:50-ish. Yeah. So around 5:50 yesterday evening, they started picking up and they got intense. I did the usual. I went and took a shower, kept drinking a lot of water. I rested. I just made sure that it wasn't like false labor. And they would pick up. Either way, they were very intense, no matter how far apart they were. But they started picking up, and I took a shower. And after even while I was in the shower, they were still coming. So I kind of just, sat. A lot of pain, pressure. Thought my water was gonna break. It was crazy. So still having them. Fell asleep, and they were still they started coming back. Even in my sleep, they were getting very intense and very close together. So around 1 o'clock, I woke my husband up and told him we gotta go to the hospital. He said, "You for real?" I'm like, "Yeah, this time for real." So here we are. So hopefully I get admitted to have this baby. I'm 3 centimeters right now, so we shall see. Oh, hey y'all. So I am not in triage anymore. I am in a labor and delivery room right now. Turn the lights on. I turned them off for a little bit. Oh gosh, it's caught on my IV. Hold on. Okay, that puts a little more light in here. Y'all, my face just, in the last couple weeks, my face wants to break out and act up, but oh well. So I was admitted to, so I talked about triage already. They checked me. I was 3 centimeters, but my cervix was still kind of thick. And then they gave me the choice to either stay home or stay and get monitored for another hour or go home. So I decided to stay for another hour because my contractions were uncomfortable and I didn't want to go home. So through that hour, I think for about, I think 4:20ish, I this is in the morning, because I got here probably around 3ish. They moved pretty fast. So from 3 to 4, I didn't move. My contractions weren't doing anything. And then from 4 to 5, I dilated a centimeter because they said if I get to 4, I could be admitted. And my cervix like thinned out a little bit. My contractions were pretty heavy too. So I got admitted. And here's a tip. If you're in triage and you know that you're having contractions that are like, no, I can't go back home, but they're not very intense, where it's like, oh my God, I'm about to have this baby, get up and stand up on the side of the bed, because that's what I did. Because what I've learned through all of my research about labor this past 2 weeks is that you have to be moving around and not just laying in the bed waiting for them to come. So even though I was having like intense contractions, even though and they weren't consistent, I got up on the side of my bed and I like rocked back and forth, rocked my hips back and forth. I kind of did hip dips. I just moved back and forth, and stood up, so I'm not just laying down and relaxing. So the baby can stay, down and where she's supposed to be, even through contractions. So that's a tip for you. What else? Yeah, so it took about, when she came back in, I was surprised to hear her say, like, I dilated and my cervix thinned out that fast. And I know it had to be because I got up and moved around. Also, I just kind of de-stressed. I'm like, okay, we're talking to my baby. I'm like, we're not stressed out. We've done this before. This is not new to us. I was like, do what you need to do. My body, I was like, body, do what you need to do. I was even telling myself, like, we're going to get through this. We're going to have a baby today. In my mind, I was imagining myself, like, giving birth and seeing her today. So, I think that helped because I had been not stressed out, but I felt it like, oh my God, I got to have this baby. That's how I've been for the past week, because all of the false labor and the pain and all of that stuff was just like, I can't take this no more. So, I think that helped in getting up and kind of rocking back and forth and just affirming and saying, we got this. We know what to do. This is my 5th baby, y'all. So we know what to do. And we're going to give birth and all of this stuff. So okay, it's enough of that. So I came to my room probably around 6 o'clock, labor and delivery. It is now 10:20 a.m. So I've been here since about 2:45. Yeah, I've been here since about 2:45. By now, if this was any of my previous pregnancies, I would have a baby by now. But no baby because my contractions are inconsistent, but I'm dilating. Once I got here in the labor and delivery room, they really slowed down. But when they come, they're really intense. So I probably was in here for like 2 hours maybe. And I was like, okay, now that was like 8:30. So another almost 2 hours have gone by. So I've been on the birthing ball, trying to just bounce it out, but nothing is moving. So they came in, the midwife, and she kind of gave me some suggestions and asked me about Pitocin. And I'm just like, my husband asked his questions, I asked my questions and stuff like that, because I don't want a whole bunch of medicine. But my contractions are not moving, and the way that it's looking is like they probably won't be moving very fast. So, so I went ahead and got the Pitocin. I just got it about 10-15 minutes ago. It started in my IV right here. And let's see if I can show y'all the bag. Okay, I'm back. They are giving me a chance to eat before this Pitocin really kicks in. But, let's see. This one, wait, oh, this one right here is the Pitocin. And where am I pointing? This one is just fluids for hydration. So they started me off at 2 units for Pitocin. And then she came in here and she bumped it up to 4 units. Now that's drips. So it doesn't drip as fast as the fluid bag does. Because I'm guessing Pitocin is really, really strong. So this is supposed to help my contractions pick up. This is the first time I've ever done this. So we're going to see. I don't feel anything yet. Oh, my husband calling again, y'all. Okay, so he was seeing what I wanted to eat. So she just came in and put it up to 4 units for the Pitocin. So it's just a waiting game to see. They supposed to help your contractions become closer together, more consistent, like 2 to 3 minutes. So they want to get me to 2 to 3 minutes. Right now, my contractions have been, seems like every hour. Like I'm having them, but strong ones are like, so I'm not trying to be in this labor and delivery room all day. So just sitting around waiting for that. I will give y'all the update on the Pitocin and how it was. She's been moving around quite a bit since they started it, so they do pay attention to how the baby reacts to the Pitocin. They have this thing where it's checking my blood pressure every 15 minutes to 30 minutes. And if the Pitocin isn't working and if the baby isn't responding to the Pitocin, then they just shut it off. And then the last resort is that she'll have to break my water to get me going. And I don't want that because I don't want to feel that. So it's good that I'm already dilating 4 centimeters. I haven't been checked since I was in triage. So that's where we're at right now. Just waiting. I was not expecting this at all to get to the hospital and then my contractions slow down because they were very intense last night and this morning. So I waited around a lot like a while before I said, okay, we need to go to the hospital. And the crazy thing is my contractions were so intense and hurting so bad. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning and I woke my husband. I'm like, hey, we gotta go. Everybody has to go. That means it's time. So then once I got up and started moving around a little bit, they started to slow down. So I was hesitant about coming because I'm like, man, I don't want to be sent home. But they never stopped. They weren't like false labor where I would have them for like an hour, hour and a half, go take a shower, and they would go away. They stayed. So that's what kind of got me like, let me just go to the hospital and get checked because I've been having contractions since like 6 o'clock. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Let me just go. So thankfully, they kept me. Only because I was 4 centimeters. Thank you, Jesus. I'm currently 38 weeks today. So I knew she would be here before Christmas. But that's about it. I'm just gonna wait for my husband to come back with his food so I can get something in me before they tell me I can't have nothing. I can only drink water and clear liquids and jello and popsicles and all that stuff. But hopefully, we thought she would be here by 12 this afternoon. Don't look like that's happening. So, yeah. So it's been It's almost 11, so it's been 9 hours I've been here. My body is just like, girl, we getting too old for this. Because my last baby, she was here by now. She was here within 6 hours of me getting, from me being in triage to getting admitted. She was here in 6 hours. And it's been 9. And it went by so fast, the 9 hours. It just, time goes by so fast. So, yeah. So we'll have a baby soon. I'll keep y'all updated on the Pitocin situation. And just know that I plan on getting an epidural as soon as this pain start picking up. So, I'm just thankful. I'm blessed. Thankful for medicine and doctors and good doctors and nurses, because they're awesome here where I'm at. My nurse is amazing. And then I have a midwife that I know she's going to be amazing, because I've met her in one of my OB appointments. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. So keep y'all updated. Hey y'all, just popping in. Today is January 2nd, 2022. But you have just watched a part of my labor story. And what you just saw is me on oxygen. That's after I had just gone through an experience that seemed like forever. And I had like a symptomatic response to Pitocin, and I believe it was the mix of the epidural with the Pitocin. And I was on oxygen because after going through this horrible experience where I could not breathe, immediately after getting the epidural and laying down, then they had to fight to keep my blood pressure down. So I know they gave me like 8 vials of like this blood pressure medicine, and they put something in my leg. It was like a horrible experience. It lasted for feel like 10-15 minutes, but it felt like forever when you can't breathe. And I was laying down. Of course, I couldn't move or sit up too much because I had just gotten an epidural, and it was kicking in. Like the medicine was trying to kick in. My blood pressure was dropping really low, and I still had Pitocin going into another IV. So it was just a lot going on at that moment. And then I can't breathe. My blood pressure is dropping. So you see me on oxygen because after going through all of that and them kind of getting my blood pressure under control, then the baby's heart rate dropped, and had not dropped. It got high. Her heart rate was high, and it was like that for 10 minutes. And I didn't know until the nurse came in there and said something. So they had to stop the Pitocin, put me on oxygen to get her heart rate to get normal. And then they ended up having to start my Pitocin all over. But I'll talk about this more in the next day video. I kind of explain more. So sorry if I'm really chatty in that video. I'm going to do a more descriptive video of like my reaction to the Pitocin and epidural. I did research after the fact. And I don't recommend any mom gets that unless you really feel like you have to. But I'll talk about all of that in another video. At this point, I don't care how I look. I just feel like the information needs to be put out there to help other moms decide if they want to be medically induced. Because I believe that that's what they do. This is my first time like getting help with my labor. So I didn't need to be induced, but it helped to speed up things for me. But it was a horrible experience, y'all. And I just thank God that I made it through that. And that's why you saw me on oxygen. So thank you guys for watching.
I don't apologize for this video being super chatty, but watch the next video and you'll see me explaining more. I kind of repeat some things that I said in this video about how I ended up at the hospital and stuff like that, but more towards the end of my labor and delivery video I'll be posting, my after experience. I explain more of like the reaction to the medicine. So